Good day, everyone. On behalf of our group, I would like to warmly welcome all of you to today's webinar, which is Bridging the K to 10 Divide, Addressing Critical Gaps in Teacher Readiness, Skills Development, and Technology Alignment. My name is Phil Chris, and I will be your host for today's session. Before we officially begin, here are a few important reminders. First, feel free to take note of key points throughout the session because these may be helpful for your teaching practice and professional development. Next, a feedback form will be provided after the webinar. You may access it by scanning the QR code that will appear later. Then, if you have questions or clarifications, kindly include them in the feedback form so our team can address them later. And lastly, please ensure that you provide the correct email address and personal details because this will help us issue your certificate with accurate information. Now, here's what you can expect from today's webinar. First, a deep dive into the K-10 MataTag curriculum changes. Secondly, identification of critical gaps in teacher readiness. Third, skills development needed for effective curriculum implementation, technology alignment in Philippine classrooms, and of course we have realistic classroom scenarios and practical solutions from our speaker. And now, let me introduce our speaker. She is a highly respected and accomplished educator known for her passion for teaching and her commitment to elevating classroom practices. As a master teacher at San Mateo Senior High School, she is recognized for being an insightful, innovative, and influential leader in her field. We have with us today Mrs. Jennifer H. Canio.
Good day, everyone. I am Jennifer Canyo from San Mateo Senior High School. Welcome to Bridging the K-10 Divide, addressing critical gaps in teacher readiness, skills development, and technology alignment. It is an honor to share insights on this important and timely topic as we continue to navigate the demands of the revised K-10 curriculum. I hope that through our discussion today, we can deepen our understanding, reflect on current challenges, and explore meaningful strategies to support teachers in meeting the expectations of our curriculum. Please share one challenge you face in implementing the revised K-10 curriculum by posting your response on Padlet. Simply scan the QR code provided to submit your answer. Maybe one of your answers are as follows: difficulty integrating technology effectively into lessons to enhance learning, or limited time to cover all learning competencies while ensuring mastery of content, uncertainty in designing assessments that align with the revised standards. Let us now take a closer look at the key differences between the old Basic Education Curriculum or BEC and the revised K-10, which is part of the K-12 curriculum. First, regarding the grades covered. The BEC focused on grades 1 to 10, which is a 10-year basic education program. In contrast, the K-12 system covers kindergarten through grade 12, although initially the K-10 curriculum focused on grades 1 to 10. Next, the duration. BEC had a total of 10 years of basic education, while K-12 extends to 12 years, including senior high school, providing additional time for mastery of skills and preparation for higher education or employment. When we look at the focus, BEC was largely content-based, emphasizing knowledge acquisition. On the other hand, the K-12 curriculum is competency-based, emphasizing mastery of skills, values, and 21st century competencies such as critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and digital literacy. In terms of assessment, BEC relied mostly on traditional exams, while the K to 12 curriculum, however, promotes competency-based assessments, including performance tasks, and incorporates both formative and summative assessments. Regarding the curriculum design, the BEC had a less structured progression, with learning areas that were mostly fixed. The K-12 curriculum, in contrast, is designed with a coherent progression of learning, decongested content, and integration of skills across subjects, making learning more connected and meaningful. Technology integration in BEC, the use of technology was limited, while in K to 12 curriculum, however, it encourages meaningful technology integration, making learning more interactive, engaging, and aligned with 21st century skills. Lastly, under values formation, Beck included values education but was not fully integrated across subjects. In the revised curriculum, values are embedded across all subjects, emphasizing the holistic development of learners. In summary, this table shows how the K-12 curriculum represents a more structured, competency-focused, and modern approach to education, highlighting why teachers' readiness, skill development, and technology alignment are essential for its successful implementation. On this slide, we are looking at DepEd Order 31 Series of 2012, which provides the policy guidelines for the implementation of the K-12 basic education curriculum, specifically for grades 1 to 10, also referred to as K-10 curriculum. This order was issued to ensure a smooth and coherent transition from the old basic education curriculum to the K-12 system. It lays down the rules and standards for curriculum design, teaching strategies, assessment, and learning competencies that teachers must follow to meet national education goals. These are the key points of K to 10 curriculum. Number one, ensuring alignment of learning competencies across grade levels so that what students learn in one grade prepares them for the next. Second, emphasizing competency-based learning rather than focusing solely on content knowledge. Third is providing guidance for lesson planning, assessment, and instructional strategies, helping teachers deliver the curriculum effectively. In essence, DepEd Order 31 Series 2012 serves as the official blueprint for implementing the K-10 curriculum, ensuring that all schools follow a consistent and a quality standard of education. We have an overview of the K to 10 curriculum, which is the educational program in the Philippines covering kindergarten to grade 10 under the K-12 basic education system. The K to 10 curriculum is competency-based, learner-centered, and developmental, meaning it is designed to help students not only acquire knowledge, but also develop essential skills, values, and 21st century competency, such as critical thinking, problem solving, and collaboration. It includes all the learning areas that students need for holistic development: mathematics, science, English, Filipino, Araling Panlipunan, MAPE, edukasyon sa pagpapakatao, and technology and livelihood education or TLE. By integrating these subjects, the curriculum aims to ensure that learners are well prepared academically, socially, and emotionally, providing a strong foundation for senior high school and beyond. BO10 Series 2024 Policy Guidelines on the Implementation of the Matatag Curriculum. The Matatag Curriculum is the revised and improved K to 10 curriculum in the Philippines, launched by the Department of Education in 2023. It is a part of the DepEd Matatag agenda, which aims to make basic education more focused, relevant, and responsive to learners' needs. Matatag stands for MA, or make the curriculum relevant to produce job-ready, active, and responsible citizens. Ta 1. Take steps to accelerate delivery of basic education services. Ta 2. Take good care of learners through inclusive education and well-being programs. And G. Give support to teachers for better classroom instruction. The key features of the Matatag curriculum, which was developed to strengthen and streamline learning in the Philippine basic education. First, the curriculum focuses on foundational skills, particularly, particularly literacy and numeracy, which are intensified in the first key stage through programs like the National Reading Program and the National Mathematics Program. Second, it redefines the interplay among challenges in the mother tongue based multilingual education program, ensuring that students build strong language skills in both their first language and in Filipino and English. Third, the curriculum is decongested, meaning learning competencies are reduced to focus on essential skills, allowing students more time for mastery. Fourth, it provides a clear articulation of the DepEd 21st Century Skills Framework, reflecting the vision for the Filipino learner to become globally competent, critical thinking, and collaborative. Lastly, the curriculum emphasizes intensified values education, embedding core Filipino values across all subjects to promote the holistic development of learners. Overall, the Matatag curriculum aims to create well-rounded, future-ready learners by balancing foundational skills, competencies, and values. In this slide, we have the comparison of the K-10 curriculum and the Matatag curriculum. In coverage, both curricula span kindergarten to grade 10, but the Matatag curriculum has a strengthened focus, ensuring that foundational skills are more effectively addressed. Under focus, while the K-10 curriculum emphasizes competency-based learning, literacy, numeracy, and values, the Matatag curriculum goes further by highlighting mastery of foundational skills, life skills, values, and Filipino identity. Under goal, the K-10 curriculum aims to prepare learners for higher education and future careers, whereas Matatag focuses on ensuring mastery of essential competencies and readiness for senior high school. Under technology integration in K-10, technology use was encouraged but varied across schools. Matatag strengthens this by promoting a more structured and aligned use of technology to support learning outcomes. Under emphasis, lastly, K-10 emphasizes learning progression and content coverage, while Matatag focuses on mastery, essential skills, and holistic learner development, aiming for well-rounded and future-ready learners. In summary, the Matatag curriculum builds on the K-10 framework, making learning more focused, structured, and competency-driven, while maintaining attention to values, Filipino identity, and 21st century skills. One major challenge in implementing the revised K-10 curriculum is the immeasurable gaps and lapses in teacher skills development. Many teachers lack access to continuous for professional development or CPD programs that are aligned with the current needs of the curriculum. While professional development initiatives exist, they are often generic, outdated, or not targeted toward the specific competencies required by the revised K-10 curriculum. This creates a situation where teachers are expected to teach critical thinking, inquiry-based learning, digital literacy, and other 21st century skills, but have not been adequately trained to deliver this effectively in the classroom. Without relevant training, teachers may struggle to design lessons, facilitate activities, and assess learning in ways that align with updated curriculum standards. For instance, A teacher may be asked to integrate digital tools like Google Classroom or interactive simulations into a science lesson. However, if the teacher has never received hands-on training on using these tools, they may default to traditional lecture methods or worksheets, which limits students' engagement and the development of 21st century skills. Similarly, teachers may know the theory behind inquiry-based learning, but without CPD that provides practical strategies, sample lesson plans, and assessment methods, they may find it difficult to implement effectively in their classrooms. Another significant challenge in implementing the revised K-10's curriculum is the skill disparities between new and veteran teachers. Newly hired teachers often bring proficiency in modern teaching technologies, such as online learning platforms, interactive apps, or digital assessment tools. However, they may lack experience in classroom management, lesson pacing, and handling diverse student needs. On the other hand, veteran teachers usually have extensive classroom experience and strong strategies for engaging students, but they may be less familiar with emerging digital tools, online platforms, and competency based teaching methods. This creates a mismatch where the strengths of one group do not fully complement the weaknesses of the other, limiting the overall effectiveness of instruction. An example is a veteran teacher might excel at conducting group activities and managing large classes, but struggle to use Google Classroom or Kahoot for formative assessments. Meanwhile, a new teacher may effectively use digital quizzes but struggle to maintain student discipline or address varied learning needs during lessons. Without collaborative training or mentoring programs, these disparities can hinder consistent implementation of the K to 10 curriculum across classrooms. A further challenge in implementing the revised K-10 curriculum is limited opportunities for upskilling. Many teachers lack access to advanced workshops or specialized training programs that focus on essential areas such as 21st century skills, differentiated instruction, or competency based assessment design. Without these opportunities, educators find it difficult to keep pace with the evolving demands of the curriculum and struggle to implement best practices effectively in their classroom. For example, a teacher may want to design a project-based learning activities that cater to students with diverse abilities. But if there are no available workshops or mentoring sessions on differentiated instruction, they may rely on traditional teaching methods that do not fully engage or challenge or all learners. Similarly, teachers may be aware of digital assessment tools but may not know how to create performance tasks aligned with the 21st century competencies, limiting the curriculum's full potential. Another challenge in implementing the revised K-10 curriculum is the inconsistent quality of training across divisions or schools. The effectiveness and depth of teacher training often vary depending on the local division or school management unit. While some schools provide well-resourced, hands-on, and comprehensive workshops, others may offer training that is brief, theoretical, or poorly facilitated. So, this inconsistency results in uneven instructional competence, with some teachers fully prepared to implement the curriculum while others struggle to meet the standards. For instance, a teacher in one division may attend a week-long workshop on digital tools and competency-based lesson design, gaining practical strategies and resources to enhance their teaching. Meanwhile, a teacher in another school might only receive a 1 hour lecture on the same topic without guidance or practice, leaving them less confident in applying these strategies in their classrooms. This disparity can impact student learning outcomes and create gaps in curriculum implementation across regions. Finally, teacher workload issues pose a significant challenge in implementing the revised K-10 curriculum. Many teachers are burdened with heavy teaching loads, administrative tasks, and extracurricular responsibilities, leaving them little time for meaningful professional development. Even when CPD programs are available, teachers may struggle to participate fully or to apply newly learned skills in their classroom due to time constraints and competing responsibilities. For example, a teacher might be interested in attending a workshop on integrating inquiry-based learning or digital tools, but their day is already filled with multiple classes, lesson planning, grading, and school activities. So, as a result, the teacher may only skim through the training content and find it difficult to implement the strategies effectively, limiting the overall impact of professional development initiatives. The second major challenge in implementing the revised K-10 curriculum is teachers' questionable preparedness. Many educators face difficulties due to several factors. First, there is an unclear understanding of the revised standards and competencies. Some teachers are unsure about what students are expected to learn at each grade level or how competencies progress from one year to the next. Second, insufficient training during the transition. The limited orientation and workshop provided often do not fully equip teachers with the practical knowledge needed to implement the new standards effectively. Third, teachers often experience confusion in lesson planning and implementation. Many still struggles with unpacking learning competencies, developing milk-based lessons, and designing performance tasks that aligns with the curriculum. Fourth, there is a difficulty aligning teaching strategies with curriculum intent. For example, inquiry-based learning, problem solving, and contextualized instruction are central to the K-10 curriculum, but teachers may lack the guidance or experience to apply these strategies consistently. Finally, gaps in assessment literacy. It also further hinder in preparedness. Many teachers are unfamiliar with formative and competency-based assessments, which are essential for monitoring and supporting student learning under the revised curriculum. Example, a teacher may know the learning competency for a lesson in science, but may struggle to design hands-on experiments or performance tasks that allow students to demonstrate mastery. Similarly, while a teacher may want to use competency-based assessments, they may not know how to grade or provide feedback effectively, which limits the curriculum's intended outcomes. The third challenge in implementing the revised K-10 curriculum is the misalignment with the curriculum standards. Despite the introduction of the updated curriculum, several issues still persist. First, learning materials and modules are often not updated. Many schools continue to use textbooks or worksheets that reflect the old curriculum, which may not align with the new learning competencies and expectations. Second, the persistence of old teaching practices hinders full implementation. Some educators continue to rely on traditional lecture methods or rote memorization, even when the curriculum emphasizes competency-based and student-centered approaches. Third, there is a lack of clarity on benchmark standards. Teachers may be unsure of the expected quality and depth of learning for each grade level, which affects lesson planning and assessment. Fourth, variations in interpretation across schools or divisions creates inconsistency in how the curriculum is implemented. What one teacher considers an acceptable performance task may differ from another, leading to unequal learning experiences for students. Finally, lesson planning and assessment tools are not fully updated. Many educators continue to use templates or assessment methods from the old curriculum, which may not adequately measure competency, mastery, or support the curriculum's goals. For instance, a social studies teacher may still use memorization-based quizzes instead of performance tasks that assess critical thinking and application. Similarly, a science module may not include inquiry-based experiments aligned with K-10 competencies, limiting students' ability to fully engage with the curriculum. The fourth challenge in implementing the revised K-10 curriculum is insufficient knowledge in technology integration. In today's digital age, the effective use of technology is essential. Yet, many teachers face several barriers. First, limited digital literacy prevents some educators from fully utilizing online tools, interactive platforms, or multimedia resources in their lessons. Second, there is difficulty in integrating technology into lesson plans. Teachers may know how to use certain apps or platforms, but they may not know how to incorporate them meaningfully into teaching to enhance learning outcomes. Third, insufficient training and support. Many teachers have not received practical workshops and mentoring that teach them how to use technology effectively in alignment with curriculum goals. Fourth, lack of access to appropriate resources is a common challenge. Not all schools have reliable internet, computers, or tablets, limiting teachers' ability to implement digital learning strategies. Fourth, there are challenges in assessment and feedback using technology. Even when technology is available, teacher, teachers may struggle with creating online quizzes, performance tasks, or digital portfolios, and providing timely feedback that supports student learning. Example, an English teacher may want to use Google Classroom to conduct interactive quizzes or collaborative activities. However, if the teacher lacks training in using these tools, or the school does not have sufficient devices or internet connectivity, the integration of technology becomes ineffective or inconsistent, limiting student engagement and learning outcomes. Now that we've discussed the challenges and gaps in curriculum implementation, let's move to the second part of our session, technology integration in teaching. Here, I will share several tools that can help you enhance instruction, boost student engagement, and make your work more efficient. These applications are practical, easy to use, and aligned with 21st century teaching practices. The first tool is Canva. We all know that Canva is a versatile platform for teachers. It allows you to record yourself, which is useful for asynchronous lessons. And you can prepare your lesson plans using professional templates. It's user friendly and perfect for enhancing the visual appeal of your materials. Hi there. So let us have Canva first. So lahat naman tayo po ay ginagamit na si Canva. So, lalo na po kung if we have our DepEd account, so we can use the different templates under Edu. We just use our email which has a domain at deped.gov.ph. So, when you click the home menu, so this is what the environment of Canva looks like. Ako po kasi, I have downloaded the Canva app on my laptop. But the second option is you can also use Canva in your browser. So you can use it in Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Safari, and any other browser. So when you click the home, so we have here on the left side, we have the home, the create, the classwork, templates, brand, Canva AI, and then more. So we have different apps in Canva. And then we have also notifications and our account. Okay. And then you can, Canva also has its AI. You can use Canva AI. And then we have here your designs, your recent designs, and then the templates. And then if you want to use Canva AI, and you just type like any other AI app like ChatGPT, Gemini, same lang din po si Canva. So, the first thing that I will teach you is how to record yourself using the presentation in Canva. Katulad po ng ginawa ko dito sa ating webinar na yung PowerPoint ko, naka-insert po yung image ko na nagsasalita. So, the first thing is, syempre, ang i-click natin is the presentation. So, when you click presentation, the next thing that you will do is to choose your design. So, Canva has its text box. So, may option tayo, no? You can upload the design that you want, or you can also use the voice command if you do not want to chat, or you can type. So, example, ang topic ko is about the parts of the computer. So, ang template ko na hahanapin is about related with the parts of the computer. So, when you click enter, so magge-generate na si Canva ng mga different designs. Ayan. Just scroll down kung ayaw mong gamitin yung nasa unahan. So, hindi naman lahat siya lalabas as parts of computer. Meron conjunctions, parts of noun, parts of plant. So, ayan. Ang pipiliin ko na lang is computer parts. Ayan. And then, after clicking the template, you just click the apply all 19 pages. Meaning, lahat ng slides nyo ay gagamitin yung napili nating design. So, nakapili na po tayo ng design. The next thing that we will do is we're going to insert na yung ating image. So, how? You just click the upload and then lalabas po yan. You click record yourself. So, there are three options, no? We have here the record the talking head. That is yung gagawin natin mamaya. You can also use the screen recorder. Ito naman po yung ginagamit ko ngayon. Nire-record ko yung desktop ko, kung ano yung ginagawa ko. And then, generate AI voice. So, you can use AI voice instead of you talking. You just type the text kung ano yung gusto mong sabihin ni AI. Sa screen recorder for desktop, kailangan po is naka-install yung application ni Canva sa inyong laptop or desktop. Hindi siya gagana if you're using Canva in your browser. So, i-install po talaga siya. So, let us now proceed to record the talking head. Just click record the talking head. So, yan. Lalabas na siya. Nandiyan na yung picture nyo. You can change the frame. No? Ang default is circle. You just click change shape. Yan. Mababago yan. And then effects. If you want, may filter siya. Different filter. Ayan. Kung tingin mo kulang yung ng camera ng laptop or desktop mo. And then we also have the effects. So, it retashes your skin. So, wala na lang tayong effects na gagamitin. No? And then, ayan. So, we also have the mirror camera. And then, yan, change shape. And then, filters. And turn off camera. Siyempre tayo, ang gagamitin natin is we're going to turn on our camera para pag gagamitin natin sa ating klase, nakikita tayo ng students natin. So, yan. After nyan, pwede nating i-move yung image natin kung tingin natin nakaharang sa mga elements ng ating slide. Yan. And then, kung okay na sa inyo, you just click the record button. So, upon clicking the record button, bibilang niya ng 3, 2, 1. And then, tsaka ka magsasalita. So, good morning everyone. Our lesson for today is about the computer parts. After that, you just click done. And then you can play. Okay. So, pag mag-next slide na kayo, you just click the next slide. And then, again, same procedure in slide 1, you just click the record button. Countdown uli. Instructions. You will be shown several pictures of computer parts. You write the name of each part down on a piece of paper. Give yourself 1 point for each correct answer. The one who gets the most points win. Have fun. And then done. So, hanggang sa matapos po yung yung slides. So, per slide po yung pagre-record. And then, syempre, at the uppermost part of your screen, there is the save and exit button. So, you click that para ma-save siya. So, you can review po yung ni-record nyo. Pwede nyo namang palitan yan by clicking the delete button. So, that is how to use the record a talking head in Canva. So, let us proceed again to the home button. So, how to use naman po the Docs. So, Docs is like Microsoft Word or Google Docs in creating a lesson plan. So, you just click Doc. And then, after clicking Doc, so we have here the magic right, no? At the upper part of the screen, you just click magic right. And then, meron na naman siyang text box wherein you're going to type your prompt. Para lang din po si ChatGPT. So, example, create a lesson plan that has a learning competency, discuss the fundamentals of HTML. Tapos maglagay na lang po tayo ng note na follow the 4 A's. And then after that, okay na yung prompt nyo, you just click this arrow to generate. Yan, nag-generate na po siya. Tapos may design na rin yung inyong lesson plan. Okay. So, pwede nyo muna siyang i-review before you insert. So, yung learning competency niya is to discuss the fundamentals of HTML and then objective. So, kung tingin nyo okay na po yung generate na lesson plan ni Canva, you just click insert. And then, after clicking insert, yan. Pwede nyo naman siyang i-edit. And then, ito po, pwede rin i-edit yung template. So, this is how to create lesson plan in Canva. Next is, kung maaalala nyo po yung during pandemic, if you're using Jamboard in Google, so si Canva po, meron siyang parang Jamboard, which is whiteboard. Yan. Whiteboard is, meron siyang different templates din po. Yan. So, for example, you want to create a mind mapping. So, marami din siyang template. Ayan. And then, you can, zoom nyo siya. Customize nyo po. For example, group 1. So, dyan magsasagot si group 1. Group 2. Dito magsasagot. And then, group 3. And then, group 4. So, pwede kayong magdagdag. So, ito yung mga sticky notes po. Pwede nyo i-duplicate yan. Pwede nyo rin baguhin yung mga kulay. Ayan po. Yan. Para maganda siyang tingnan per group. And then, pwede nyo ilagay dito yung instruction kung saan lang sila magsasagot. After that, ayos nyo na yung whiteboard, you just click share, and then, yan. You can, anyone with the link, and then can edit, and then copy. So, syempre, bago nyo po i-share yung whiteboard nyo sa inyong mga students, kailangan malinaw po ang instructions natin kung paano sila magsasagot, ano yung ilalagay nila, para hindi yung iba kasi ang nagiging problem is nabubura yung hindi sa kanila, na hindi sila kasama dun sa grupo na yun. So, that is whiteboard. So, parang Jamboard po siya. Napakarami po natin pwedeng gawin kay Canva, no? We can also create video in Canva. So, hindi na tayo, lalabas pa ng ibang platform. You can also create social media post in Canva. You can also create website. Yan, nagamit ko na po yan in creating website. Also create your resume, your flyers. So, ginagamit ko nga po ito if yung sa application yung bulk, if magpiprint ako ng certificates, so gamit ko po si bulk. And then, yan. Napakadami po ng tools na ngayon ni Canva na makakatulong sa atin na mga teachers. Pwede nating i-follow po yung Canva page. So, nagsisend din sila ng mga different templates na pwede nating magamit. And then, si DepEd din po merong mga ready-made templates na pwede din nating magamit. So, napakaswerte natin na meron na pong Canva at marami tayong pwedeng gawin at maraming ready-made templates na hindi na tayo mag-iisip. You just search for the different elements para magamit po natin. ChatGPT. It is an AI assistant that helps teachers draft lesson plans, create quizzes, simplify complex topics, and even generate differentiated activities. Duolingo. It is a gamified language learning app. It helps improve vocabulary, grammar, and communication skills through small, engaging tasks. The next application that we will explore is Duolingo. So on your browser, you type duolingo.com. So we click get started. You can also use your at deped.gov.ph account. You click I already have an account. So when I click I already have an account, so click Google. And then it says welcome back. So these are the different menus in Duolingo. We have learn, we have letters. So when you click the vowels,
hot, cat, butt, bed, say, bird, book, chair, day, fish, go.
And then on practice, so meron kasing may payment dito. So itong speak and listen. But in stories, when you click stories, so you're going to choose what story do you want. And madami po siyang option. So example, date with laundry.
Date with laundry. Eddie knocks on B's door in the afternoon.
B, can I talk to you?
Sure, Eddie. What's wrong?
I have a big date tonight, but my apartment is a mess. I just got home from my trip. I haven't unpacked my bags yet.
So meron siyang Eddie says he just returned from a trip. And then your student will answer,
Oh, Eddie, did you at least do your laundry?
Nope. My laundry is in a big pile. My shirts and pants are everywhere.
Wait, you haven't unpacked or done any laundry?
No, I feel too tired to start unpacking now. I don't even know where my nice shirt is.
You need to get ready for your date. You can't go like that.
I know, but there's too much to unpack and I have no time.
What if I introduce you to someone who can really...
so mamimili uli.
With my laundry and unpacking, is she nice?
Yes, she's great at organizing things, and she's super smart.
This sounds like my dream girl. What's her name?
Her name is B, and she's right here. Here are some storage bins and laundry soap.
Eddie looks surprised as B walks into his apartment carrying boxes.
Choose the option that means shocked. So surprise.
So my date is with my laundry?
Yes, and if you finish unpacking, maybe your next date will really be a date.
Eddie needed help with So that is story complete. So dahil namili ka kanina ng may mamimili ka ng minutes per day. So the following day na po ulit. So yan. So that is how Duolingo works. So, pwede natin gamitin sa ating mga students. And then we also have here the Quest. And then shop. Ayan. Again, free trial po yung Duolingo. May payment pa rin siya. And then you can also create your account. And then yan nga yung pronunciation, the letters. So that is for Duolingo. Next application that might be helpful to you is Edpuzzle. It lets you turn any video into an interactive learning tool. You can insert questions, notes, and audio explanations directly into the video. It's great for flipped classrooms, independent work, and checking comprehension during multimedia lessons. So next up is Edpuzzle. So Edpuzzle allows you to turn any video into an interactive learning by inserting questions on the video, notes, and audio explanations directly into the video. So on your browser, you're going to type edpuzzle.com and then you click login. Again, you can use any of your account. If you have your DepEd account, if you have your personal account, you can log in. And then after you click log in, so you have here two options. You click I am a teacher. And then again, continue. I have already signed. So continue. I will continue with my Google DepEd account. So this is what Edpuzzle looks like. So there are different videos. Para siyang YouTube na maraming mga videos, or you can create your own. So you just click add new, and then these are the options. You can add video, quiz, slides, and student project. So I'm going to add video. And then these are three options, no? Get ready to go videos. Ibig sabihin, mga videos na in Edpuzzle, you can also upload your own video or you make a screen recording. You're going to install the Chrome extension to have a record of your screen. So I'm going to upload a video of my own, and then choose a file. Maghahanap ako ng video. So, dito na lang sa yung Canva na ginawa ko kanina. And then, we'll wait until the video is uploaded. And pag 100% na, and preparing pa lang siya. So again, it is that the usual na mag-upload ka lang ng video and then papanood mo sa mga students mo. But pwede siya maging interactive by inserting questions. No? Pwede kayong mag-insert ng multiple choice. Pwede kayong mag-insert ng notes nyo. So, ganun kaganda si Edpuzzle. You can use this Edpuzzle in asynchronous modality. We'll just wait. For the video. Pero meron na akong ginawa dito po, which is yung bridging the K10. So, yan. ginawa ko dito is, so example na lang po. Here is the video, no? You just click edit. Kasi dyan tayo mag-i-insert ng, kung ano yung i-insert natin. So, example, ipi-play natin siya.
Good day, everyone. Uncertainty.
So, example dito. You have here questions on this part of the video. So, may option siya, multiple question, open-ended question, or note. So, example, multiple question. Yan, magta-type tayo ng question, no? So, what is the assessment type in BEC? So, may dalawang option. Traditional exam. Or competency-based assessment. Performance task na lang. Performance task. Tapos, syempre, lalagyan natin ng tamang, i-check natin yung correct answer. No? And then, save. Kung mapapansin nyo po, nagkaroon siya ng, ng mark. Ibig sabihin yan, dyan ka merong question. So, another one, pwede nyo siyang i-forward. So, example, open-ended question naman. What can you say about the Matatag curriculum? So, pwede dito ang audio responses kung gusto nyo po. And then, save. Yan. That is open-ended question. So, pwede pa rin magdagdag. Ayan. Hanggang sa dulo po. After nan, you just click finish. So, pag pinlay yan, pwede nyo siyang i-assign. Ayan, assign video. If you have your classes in Edpuzzle, you create class naman po. Ayan. So, it is also, Edpuzzle can be linked in your Google Classroom, in Canvas, if you have Microsoft Teams, Schoology, Moodle, Blackboard, yan. In different LMS po. You can create your class. Tapos dyan na ipopost. Okay, so that is Edpuzzle. I think it will be, Edpuzzle will be very useful to all of us. Padlet, it is a digital collaborative board where students can post ideas, pictures, videos, and answers. It's perfect for motivation, brainstorming, exit tickets, and group activities. Because it looks like a digital bulletin board, students find it fun and easy to use. Okay, next we have Padlet. So Padlet is like Jamboard. It is also like whiteboard in Canva. You can use that for if you have an activity for exit ticket. We also have group activities, brainstorming, and then it can also be used as motivation. So you type Padlet on your browser, and then this is the logo for Padlet. You just click that. So we have two options, the blank board and then the blank sandbox. The blank sandbox is unlimited until December 31, while yung blank board naman po, limited lang yung number ng Padlet na pwede nyong gawin dito. So, yung sandbox, it can be used for drawing, writing, and adding media. While ito naman si Blackboard is for organizing, collecting, and sharing thoughts. So, dito tayo kay Blackboard. Create new. And then, the title. So, dito sa title, you will type the question. Kung question yung ilalagay nyo. So, ako is, ito-type ko yung question in my subject.net, which is web design. Why is good design important in web development? And then yan, yung format, we have walls, columns, grids, table, freeform. So, dito ako sa wall. And then done. So, you can share the link. You can also create a QR code. Yan. Pwede yan i-post sa class. Or you can copy link to board. You can also create breakout rooms. You can export as image, PDF. Yan. So, pag magsasagot sa students, dito siya sa board. Then, you can also change the wallpaper. You just click the gear button. And then, baguhin yan. And then, you click save. Okay, so that is Padlet. Reading Coach, it is an AI-powered tool that helps students improve their reading fluency. It listens as learners read aloud, identifies mispronounced words, and provides immediate feedback. This is especially helpful for improving accuracy, confidence, and comprehension in a personalized, non-threatening way. Reading Coach is an application from Microsoft. It is an AI-powered tool. It will help our students improve their reading fluency. To proceed with Reading Coach, just type office.com on your browser. And then you click apps. And then you look for Reading Coach. So here is Reading Coach. So we have here a student, and so for student, this is the home and then the progress of the student. So, yung ginawa kasi ng dating student is nagbasa na siya ng isang article. You can also create a story using AI in Reading Coach. You read passage from our library and then add your own passage. So, nakalagay po dito, no, you read for 20 minutes to unwrap something. So, we click or jump back in the secrets in the castle mode. So, meron siyang window which asks you to read if are you ready to read aloud. So, not yet or start reading. So, dun tayo sa start reading. So, kunwari, student ako, no? Lily looked around in the garden. She felt excited and happy. There were flowers in every color. She pushed a big leaf aside and found a wooden box. What is in here? She thought. This place was like a painting. Lily couldn't wait for her next adventure. Yan. We stop reading and then nakalagay dyan 100% pronunciation accuracy and then 25 seconds yung reading time. Tapos, naka-note din po dito na no words to practice. Good job. And then, pwede uling magbasa. Start reading uli. Lily was a little frog. She lived in a big castle by a moat. Lily found a secret passage by a painting. What could be behind it? Then stop. Choose what happens in the next chapter. The hidden word. So, magkikreate siya ng another chapter. And then, you're going to start reading again. Lily opened the box. Inside, she found a shiny key. What does this open? She wondered. Just then, a little squirrel peeked out from behind a tree. Hello, want to find treasure? The squirrel asked. Lily's eyes sparkled. Yes, she said. They walked together to a tall hedge. Suddenly, they heard a loud noise. What was it? And then stop. Kung tingin mo okay ka na sa pagbabasa, you just click down reading and see results. Yan. So, nakalagay uli dyan sa results. 100% pronunciation accuracy. Reading time is 31 seconds. And then words to practice, opened, lily, and squirrel. So, kung gusto niyo mag-proceed ulit sa pagbabasa, you just click keep reading and then gusto niyo naman makita yung practice word, ma-pronounce ulit.
Next step, practice. Select any word to keep building your skills. When you're ready, press the microphone and read the word out loud.
Squirrel.
You're making your brain stronger. Nice work.
Next. Lily. Opened.
Great reading today.
Okay, so nabasa ko na yung practice word. So, that is reading coach. Madami pang pwede pong gawin dito sa reading coach. Again, you can create a story using AI and then, so, nandiyan naman yung progress. Kung sa students natin po, no, kung how many minutes siya nagbasa, ano yung mga na-complete niyang practices, and then yung accuracy, and then the correct words per minute. And then achievements, may mga badges din po yan. So, I hope that reading coach makakatutong siya sa atin bilang teacher. Word wall. It allows you to create interactive quizzes, matching games, spin the wheel activities, and more. It's commonly used for formative assessments, vocabulary drills, and quick classroom games. Word wall. Yung word wall po, during pandemic, gamit na gamit ko siya when it comes to motivation and also activity. Pero pwede pa rin naman po siyang gamitin ngayong face-to-face class. So, type word wall on your browser and then click this.
You can use any of your email. Kaya lang ito, si WordWall is up to 3 lang yung pwede nyong magamit. So, hindi na ako makapag-create. Kahit na dinilit ko na siya, up to 3 lang talaga. Pero napakaraming pwede nyong gamitin. Pwede siguro you create another email. Wala naman bayad ang pag-create ng email. Pwede po yun. Para makapag-create kayo ng mas maraming activities in WordWall. And then, these two are the examples of my activity. So, papakita ko lang po, no? The first one is in CSS. Ito po, naka-grouping siya. Group sort ang tawag dito. So, when you play, ganyan siya. Pwede nyo siyang i-share. Ang ginagawa ko kasi dati is, during pandemic, is sinishare ko sa klase, tapos nagtatawag ako ng students. Pero dito naman, sa face-to-face, pwede nyo rin po siyang gamitin. And then, yun, tatawag ka din ng students mo. Or pwede naman simultaneous nilang gagawin din yun. Okay, so ito, naggawa ko ng group. Tapos, ang gagawin ng mga students is, ida-drag nila tong mga words na to in their corresponding group. Tapos, kung mapapansin nyo po, meron siyang time limit. Nagtitik yan, yung time limit. So, yan. Ilalagay natin yung sa mga corresponding group. Text alignment. And then text decoration. So, sa text decoration, we have yan. Ididrag lang ng mga students yan. And then, pag tapos na silang magsagot, you just click a submit answers. Then, lalabas na yung score nila. And then, pwede nyo siyang, lalabas naman dito yung leaderboard kung sino-sino yung mga nag-rank. Pwede nyo rin siyang i-customize yung time, kung 5 minutes. And then, show answers after each game. And then, different layout each play. You can also edit the content. You can set as assignment. You can embed this in Google Classroom. You can share. Ayan. Pwede mo siyang i-publish. Pwede mong ibahin yung type ng template. So, that is WordWall. Napakadami ng example niya ni WordWall. Ayan, yan. And pag nag-create ka kasi ng activity, naka-ano na siya, disable kasi nga nagamit ko na yung 3 resources. Pero, these are the different templates. Napakaganda niya, kaya lang magbabayad lang po tayo. Ayan, may pro pa siya, pro templates. Ayan, and then basic templates. And last but not least, Prezi. It is a presentation platform that allows you to create dynamic, zooming, and visually engaging presentations instead of the traditional slide-by-slide decks. Prezi is also presentation software like Microsoft PowerPoint, Google Slides, and Canva. But may difference siya kasi yung zooming effects or transition niya, mas maganda siya. Kung gusto niyo lang pong maiba yung presentation niyo, you can use Prezi. But again, limited lang din siya kasi may payment. Pero you can use any email ulit. Mag-create na lang tayo ng mga emails. So yan po. Educator, high school, and then pwede na natin i-skip. Then ito yung interface ni Prezi. Meron na siyang yung AI din. You can create your presentation using AI. Example, create a presentation about the evolution of computer. And then you click start. So magge-generate na po yan ng yan. What is the target audience for this presentation? Yan. Pwede nyo i-skip yung chat and then you generate the presentation na. Kasi nagsagot ka naman kanina na educator ka. And then yan, nagkikreate na siya ng outline na presentation mo. You can scroll down. So, we have 10 outlines. Kung okay na sa inyo yan, just click the presentation button here. And then, ito na po yung content. Yan, nagkikreate na siya. Yung pag-generate niya ng presentation depends on your internet connection, and then it also depends on the images na ini-insert niya in your presentation. Ayan. Kakaroon na siya ng mga images. Medyo lang natin. Iintayin lang po natin ng konti. Yan. Ayan na siya. You can go to the editor kung meron po kayong dadagdag, or you can click this arrow, no. Ayan. So nakita niyo po yung yung transition sa Prezi. Zoom in and zoom out. Ayan na siya. Ayan na yung ginawa ni Prezi na presentation. So evolution of computer po tayo. May 3,000 BC pa. Ayan. So, puro text pa lang siya. And then, we have the transistors, introduction of transistors, IC na and microprocessor, modern devices, yan, the rise of personal computers, mga innovations, Apple, IBM, software boom, then widespread adoption. May content na siya. Meron na rin mga images. The internet revolution. Ayan. So, nakita niyo po yung, yung transition. Hindi siya, yung usual na presentation, yung transition natin na ginagamit. Ayan. Then AI and machine learning. Then what are the future trends in computer technology? And then conclusion. Yan na yung pinaka If you want naman po to edit, you go to the editor. You just click this. Go to the editor. Yan. Pwede yan ma-edit. Yung mga nandyan po. Yan. So, we have how many slides? We have 37 slides. So, ano lang siya, in just how many minutes, meron na tayong ready-made na presentation. Again, you can edit kung tingin nyo kulang yung content or may mali, pwede nyo siyang i-edit. So, this is Prezi. Before we end, I want to thank each of you for your active participation today. Remember, these tools are here to support your teaching, not to replace your expertise. Even small steps toward incorporating technology and aligning with the curriculum can make a significant difference in student learning outcomes. I encourage all of you to experiment, collaborate, and share your experiences with your fellow educators. Continuous reflection and professional growth are key to bridging the K-10 divide and ensuring that our learners are equipped with the knowledge, skills, and values they need for the future. Thank you once again for joining this webinar. I hope you leave today with new ideas and inspiration to implement in your classrooms. Stay safe and keep empowering your learners. Again, thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for spending your time with us today. We hope this session has inspired you to continue growing as educators and to confidently navigate the changes of the K-10 Matatag curriculum. Now, before you leave, kindly fill out the feedback form by scanning the QR code flashed on screen. Your inputs matter, and completing the form also ensures that your certificate will be sent with the correct details. Once again, on behalf of our organizers, we would like to express our sincerest thanks to everyone who joined us today. This has been Phil Grizz, your host, and thank you. Have a wonderful and meaningful day ahead.